we are going to transition. Hey guys, welcome to the Tribal Council. This is our mastermind session that we do once a week where we meet as members of this community and discuss business topics, problem solve, try to find solutions for tough, difficult problems that people are having with their day to day business operations, as well as just support each other in our own personal ventures and personal development as we're growing as founders and entrepreneurs and learning new life skills. So, welcome. If this is your first time, say hi in the chat. And if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook, go check out our Discord at wr.community/triba and hop in there and say hi. Join the discussion if you want. We're in the voice channel, the Triba Masterminds Council, or the Tribal Council, so you can hop in there also and join the discussion. We have a few guests with us today. Right now, we got Ampero, Harry, Jeremiah, Lana, and Marcel is just joining us. Welcome, Marcel. How you doing? Today, we're going to talk about a few different things.
Real quick, one point.
Yeah.
I just want to look at this group that we have here, and there was Sam and Chris. Chris who just joined. Sam and Chris towards the beginning.
Hmm.
I don't know what has gone on over the past 2 weeks or this month. Well, I do because it's been a lot of hard work. But
Yeah.
these last 2 weeks, this last month, even the growth has changed in here. The quality has risen, and there are a ton of more people in this place, and it's kind of getting to the point where it's a bit insane
It is popping
because
off.
we're like 200 members in the last 3 days.
It's crazy.
Like legitimate members. Like this is no join for join crap that I see going around the place. This is like legitimate members have joined this for some reason in the
I
last
love
three
it.
days.
Jeremiah,
And
that's
we're
a
not.
lot of thanks to you, man. A lot of hard work put in. Getting the word out there, talking to people, sharing what we're doing and our vision for Triba with other community leaders and spreading the word. I mean, you're the one who connected us with Furlough, which shout out to Furlough. Check out their Twitch as well. It's amazing. They have masterminds every day, and their pillar content is kind of what we're trying to mirror as well, so we can both get the engine running for content creation so that we can support you guys. And we want to know what you are interested in hearing. What kind of live events do you want to show up? What kind of speakers do you want in here? So interact with us. Put it in the general discussion or in the Twitch chat, wherever you put it. Preferably on Discord, so we have a permanent record of it. But tell us, what kind of events or topic discussions do you want to have in the Tribe of Discord that would best benefit you as you're developing your business? Because this community is about you, about your success, but it's about all of us individually helping each other. Um, I think that we've talked to a few different new members. As Jeremiah said, this place has been popping off. There's people joining. We have like 10 to 20 new people every day, sometimes more than that, right? Jeremiah, do you have any stats on that? But regardless, my point being, I want to know what all these new people are interested in. So put in the co-working chat or the general chat right now. Are you interested in seeing events on crowdfunding, on marketing, on branding? Why do you need an LLC? What is an LLC? What's the difference between an S corp and an LLC? These are some good topics we've had going around. When do you need to do crowdfunding? When should you be fundraising? How to make a pitch deck? I want to get some votes in there. So start popping in the discussion. We also talked a lot of last week about mental health and personal development, journaling. Um, we also have a lot of investors and stocks and crypto going on, crypto discussion, NFTs. So tell me in the chat what kind of talks or conversations would best benefit your business development. What are you struggling with right now? What do you need help with? And we'll get people in here to answer those. We'll bring in all. I'm out there, Jeremiah's out there, and Pero's out there. All these guys are out there scouting and looking for the best possible content creators to come in and give talks and put on workshops and discussion sessions that'll help you in so many different ways. And that's how I've grown my business a lot. It's just being around mentors on Discord. There's so many guys in here who are just looking to help you and support you, and they're chilling in these voice channels. So you're missing out if you're not in Discord, you're not on our channel on Triba. You're missing out on a lot of potential help for your business, a lot of support. Not to mention partnerships. People actually find partnerships and make deals in Discord. A lot of this happens behind the scenes, even just from being part of this community, and they find additional avenues of sources of revenue and grow their business that way. But on a very practical level, we have different channels in the Discord that are on these topics on marketing, e-commerce, branding, design, websites, SEO, and you can ask questions in there and get answers from professionals. They're sitting there waiting, kind of, not all the time. They actually lead pretty busy lives, and then we bring them in and interview them and talk to them for an hour or 2 hours on a quest called Triba. That's our new podcast we started 2 weeks ago, and actually earlier than that, it's sort of been in development because Michelangelo was probably one of the first interviews, and I have to get his out there because we did it on Zoom before it was going live to Twitch already. But the other ones are on Twitch, and you can go look at the video replays and watch Tabalo and then Garrett, who are both Triba elders, talk about their business and how they are here to help you and what's that kind of stuff and information they have available. And then you could go message them or tag them in the channels and ask them questions, further discuss these concepts because they're here to help and they're invested in this community as Triba leaders, Triba elders. So that's really cool, and I'm excited to see that podcast continue to grow. And we actually want to give the opportunity for more experts to come in and talk about subjects that they're passionate about or that they want to see other businesses shore up on and succeed in those areas. So if you're interested in being one of our supporters, sponsors, reach out to Jeremiah or me or anyone on the Triba staff, and we'll put you in contact with the right people, figure out how you fit into this community and how we can help each other succeed. That's the goal. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody who's joining here in the Masterminds channel. We got Court G and Marcel, who I haven't met yet. So you guys can introduce yourself if you want. Chris is also here. What up, Chris? Welcome.
I hop in. Like, this Discord community is growing great, but like Triba, we are starting to see it's such a bigger vision, and you should definitely check out what's going to be a very large and growing Twitch community. Not Twitch, Reddit.
Oh yeah, we have the Reddit now,
as well as now a Facebook group. We've realized that the Facebook page might not be the way to support this, but more of a Facebook group, because community really is at a center of a lot of what people need for their business and a lot of what we are trying to offer to these individuals. So by offering community on multiple platforms, you should be able to get the best of all the worlds, as well as cut down on some of that toxic content that you're probably currently seeing on those social medias and flood it with some tribal love.
Hey, there you go. I want everybody's streams on Facebook. If you do still use Facebook, to be full of Triba posts. Let's get that popping. Also, go check out the Reddit because that's really cool. We got a Reddit now. Be sharing articles on there, and as the micro content starts flowing, as we get this pillar content engine going, there's going to be a lot to take in. So we want you to be able to find what you want easily. And if you have suggestions on the channels, the different Discord channels, and there's something missing or something you wish was there, put that in the feedback discussion. It's at the top. We made it super easy for you to find and help us out making this even a better place. We got some people in here. Chris has been messaging, Akansha, Jeremiah, Jacoby, RIP, Kayla, James. I want to actually go through real quick the new members. Let's see. We've been getting so many. Where we keep all the members now. That
start with the co-working chat, right? Let's just
you go through and shout out everybody who's been joining.
Becker, he's new. He'll probably be joining us in another 15 minutes, according to himself.
Hey,
Becker's got quite a few projects. For the people in here, since most of you are on Discord, he has a sweet DIY community. Do you want to learn more about that? You can message me or Jay right there. We want to throw some actually collab events possibly coming up soon with this individual. That's how quick you can meet people on Discord. It's pretty freaking insane. We met this guy like very recently, and we're already talking about collab events. We're going to really have collab events where you can learn how to turn DIY projects into legitimate businesses and possibly even profit off of them. We got Jamika, who's rather recent, came in the last few days. She's actually an employee of ours. She'll be doing a lot of suite design work. If you caught the first couple minutes and you didn't understand the conversation at all, that was probably what we were talking about. I don't know if we still consider Social Baller a new one, but he finally revealed his name, and I guess that's a development. Um,
What's his
like
name?
his name's James, and he's a social media manager. He has
Oh,
like a
really?
legitimate nickname going on now. He almost looks legit, except for like the dog profile pictures. And if you guys know the inside story to that, it's absolutely hilarious. That's Ian J. Becker. Look at him; he's right there.
Hey, what up,
Oh, we
Hey!
Jay?
got that.
Welcome to the Triba Council.
Wait, is this? I thought it was later.
This is
No,
it,
no,
man.
no! You're in it right
This
now.
is it.
You got
You're
it
in
on
it.
Oh,
time.
What's
sweet.
up?
And we got that
I
CEMPH too. Some other new guy. He's a pretty cool guy. I have no idea what his actual name is. I think he said it.
Are you in co-working chat? Just going up through it.
Pretty good. I'm just going up through co-working chat right now. We can hop over to general in a minute
Mhm.
because I know we have Entrepreneur Networking who has a server called Entrepreneur Networking. Believe it or
really
not.
creative.
Um, yeah, he seems like a pretty chill dude.
Nice.
At the end of the day, just some guy is talking about some cryptocurrencies, but someone seemed to have roasted just that guy, saying that he's not that much into cryptocurrencies. I don't know. We'll see what's
I don't
going
trust
on
anybody
with
in
him.
crypto world with an
I'm
NDA.
pretty sure just some guy might actually have been brought in as a potential staff member because just some guy like is actually whatever he's doing in crypto. I'm impressed because coming from the developing nation he is, and I forget which one it was. If I'm thinking about the right guy, even it was just some guy. I'm pretty sure. So confusing with a username like that.
What was it?
just
Oh, it was
just
just some
some
guy.
guy.
It's like a Who's on First skit right there.
I mean, we got who else do we got that's new? Business Dog was in here, talked a little bit. I mean, he's a
Yeah.
dog and a business dog. It's pretty cool. Otherwise, I don't got any information on the guy. Sandra Susser was talking pretty legitimately earlier. Seemed like she definitely was not a crypto bot, and that's always nice to see in the general chat.
Nice to
Same
see
guy.
non-botters.
Introduce yourself. That's probably a better place to look. She wasn't introduce yourself, and that's pretty legit paragraph I'm looking at
Yeah.
right now.
I know it's sad, but whenever I see a female profile, my instinct is just to ban it because nothing against
What?
females. It's more of, oh, is this another scam bot? Because that's how they get you. You know, they have
Is
these
it
really
legit?
attractive profile pictures and they tell you about this crazy new opportunity, and
Yeah, the
it's
moment they
sad.
start bringing up how
Mm.
like the foreign what do you call it? Foreign exchange markets can make you 10,000 in 6 days,
Dude,
10,000%
I
6
got a
days.
crazy scam. I mean, this could be. Anyways, so I was part of this one server. I think you guys might be partnered. The 1%. I'm not that active on it,
Mm.
but anyways, the owner of the server has the same profile picture as the server icon. All right, and so he messages me, and so we're having this conversation, and he's saying he's trying to get me involved in this one project where you create like a stock trading account and you give the access to their quote unquote highly qualified professionals to trade it for you, and you can get 2000x or whatever. I'm like, why would he be shilling a scam? Like, this makes no sense. And I checked the names and they were the wrong names. Like, it was a person that created the copy account with the same profile picture and the same name and tried to scam people, and it had me for like, I mean, obviously I wasn't gonna fall for the scam, but like, I
Right.
actually legitimately thought it was the same guy.
Wild.
Huh.
They're getting creative out here. Um, I think I wanted to almost segue in a few moments, or we can even do it now so it actually works well, into something where a lot of these communities need to get better bots set up. And
Yeah.
it's cool because Marcel there, I don't know if it's him or his developers, do a bunch of custom Discord bots. So maybe he'll be able to chime in a moment. But Sam, Joe from Furlough, I was there. I think Sajad, which was the next guy I was about to give a shout out for joining, who is an awesome man people should talk to if they ever want to talk deep about SEO, probably your man to go to. I'm assuming this message that I'm getting from Marcel is he's not talking, and that's a-okay. But there's some great potential in this Discord bot for getting like network wide bans established.
Yeah.
And I think we might want to start talking about this a little bit, how we could possibly implement that into a community, because as we scale, I'm not sure just actual moderators are going to be able to cut it. We have quite a few people who moderate, but
That's a good question, because we talked about that, and the biggest risk that we saw was if somebody's banned on one channel and it's not for something that's like a Twitch terms of service thing, it's not something they violated across all the servers, then they would also be banned across all those servers.
You could. I was just thinking about that, and a potential way to mitigate that is when they join, the bot would send a message in like the staff chat saying, "Hey, this user that just joined, he was banned on this server or this list of servers." So that way it gives them more information and to be like, okay, well, it was just this one server, and then you can maybe have a conversation and work it out, or oh well, we'll ban him, but it'll at least give more flexibility.
Right. Yeah, so give them some sort of opt-in on accepting that ban across the servers for specific reasons. Yeah, I like that. Huh. Okay. Any other thoughts?
I've been so the last time I tried setting up a cross-server network, the running idea. I don't know if we could expand on this, but the idea is kind of going for is, what if there's one central server, right? And then we get through maybe like a vetting process or whatever. We have a strict set of criteria of what it takes to join that quote unquote server, and it would just be a central hub of joining these other servers. So instead of having one channel where you have to have a bunch of like a partnership channel or something where it gets buried, you could have a server, each community part of the network would have their own specific channel where they could put their own specific updates, and their own events. We could do cross collaborations there. We could that was kind of the idea. It didn't actually get there, but I don't know what you guys thoughts are on something like that.
So it's funny because we were talking merger potential at one point with other servers, and to kind of break down what my takeaway was I was thinking we shouldn't really merge with another server until
I'm not saying merging.
like a 6 month of work together. No, but it gets closer to your point.
Okay.
Without putting 6 months of work in together. And my idea was there would be a mutual server. So it would be a 3-server solution for the first 6 months where we would run the 2 individual servers as we were. We would have a mutual server now that we ran all together. And we would see which one was growth potential, which ones continued to grow, if there was a reason to keep all 3, or if we should go down to 2 afterwards. So I see a lot of benefit in what you're saying, because honestly, a lot of people, I guess I'm just wondering what the poll in for the end of day Discord user, or whoever our potential customer, once we figure out who's all in the partnership and we figure out that commonality that we're trying to draw in. I'm wondering what keeps them on that server as well as the others. How you get events, of course, on both. That keeps people engaged in both, but it keeps them engaged as long as the events are going on. How do you keep them engaged on multiple servers?
You could have because most of the servers that have high amounts of engagement have regular calls or weekly calls, so that could be a thing of, oh hey, a bot that just aggregates all the different events from different places and just posts them in one channel and be like, hey, this call starting in this server, or that's another way we could do it.
Okay, so along that line, there's server update channels, and we have our bot post our events when they're starting, which are also on the Google Calendar, into that updates channel, which is followable. So you can follow it into your channel and have it linked to a specific channel, and then we can follow yours. So when you have events and you're talking about something, they show up in our partner events. And so this is how we're doing it with like um, well, right now it's more of just static content. It's not live events, but in our partner channel, we work closely with Dr. Yeadam and Synergy. So he posts articles in there. We bring him in here for events and speaking stuff, and he posts our events whenever we go live. He's following that channel. So,
Gotcha.
for example, like if Janky DIY wanted to do some like events, we could have those featured and like sponsored by Triba and put them in Triba's event channel. Follow your event bot. So when your SCSH bot, I don't know how to say that, shish bot, posts, hey, we're starting now, it'll also post, it'll publish it. You can publish it across the network. So if we have a network of different servers like Synergy, PyKai, Triba, Furlough, Janky DIY, like all these different servers can all link up their events, and we promote each other's events. So basically, someone can find an event going on any day and check it out.
That's a good idea.
That's how I see it working, like a spider network of tentacles connecting all these communities. Because really, I mean, you don't have to just be part of one Discord. And
right, that's the beauty of Discord.
You can be part of a bunch. So it's really about how are we promoting the brands and developing the companies. And I think a large part of that is being pillar content creators, like on your subject matter. Come in and talk about it. Stand up and say something about the 15 to 20% more than the average person you know about. So if anybody's listening to this, and you guys in particular who are in the masterminds or the Triba Council, if you guys want to do a talk on something, hit me up. I mean, I'll put you on a podium. I'll give you a place to speak about what you're passionate about, and you can get out onto the Triba network and other communities that have linked to our events.
Yeah, no, that is a great idea.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to. One of my goals over the weekend is I want to create. You guys have inspired me.
I listened to your podcast. You inspired me, man. I love what you're doing. That laugh, I've listened to that laugh a lot on the podcast. I love it.
Yeah. Thanks. No, so my plan for this weekend is I want to come up with I'm gonna label it the Lazarus Project, where I want to create a detailed outline of how to resurrect the activity in my server, because it's pretty low, right? We might get a few posts a day, but which is really low for a 1,300 member server. And I mean, when it was in its height, I mean, it was non-stop.
Right.
And so I really want to tap into that and kind of liven things up.
Yeah, no, we can revitalize it, man. Revitalize it with live stuff. Let's cross promote, cross pollinate, do some sponsored events with Triba. We'll get the activity bopping again. That's what we want to do, and then we have all the tools and stuff that we can share with you that for managing and growing this Discord even beyond what you have currently done, which I think you've done a great job. Don't get me wrong. I think you've done a great job setting it up.
No, it's like
an event I'm ready to give you next week. Want to schedule an event for Monday or Tuesday at 5?
5 EST? Isn't it? Oh gosh, I'm an idiot. I added 3 hours. I thought it was starting at 8.
Oh.
3 hours because I'm a PST.
Okay.
Dude, tell me.
I'm glad you still made it.
I was like,
so do you want to do an event Monday or Tuesday at 5?
Let's do it. Yeah, actually, Monday would work well.
Okay, I'm gonna teach how to set up your e-commerce site to sell your project in under a day, or like
have a workshop.
How to set one up in an hour, and I just got to get like an example project that somebody would be trying to sell, and I'll literally put like together some Wix site or something, Squarespace site or something in an hour.
We have
or if wants to collab, we can even do it in Webflow.
We have a call on Saturday I'll probably actually you could join that. I'll you're on the server, right? I'll give you the voice call role, so when we have our call, you can hop on and talk to some of the people there.
Jeremiah, are you gonna talk in his channel, or or is he gonna come talk in Triba, or what's this? What's the platform?
I think the first has to be over there.
Yeah,
You
we'd
know,
probably get more of
his
the
members up
Yeah.
and running again, because he has a lot of people that have been inactive for a while because they've had no reason to come by. We can
right.
throw something like a couple nitro and I don't know, maybe like a $20 Home Depot.
Nice. There you go.
Hey,
There you go.
yeah.
Home Depot, perfect for DIY.
Hopefully that gets a lot of people to come participate for the first time in a while.
And Jeremiah talks about how to set up. This is perfect.
After the event, someone has to create a hook to get them to come back. Like maybe the giveaway ends in 2 days. Like all they got to do is react to a button in a new giveaway channel, and then this is like the event will be the kickoff.
Yeah, no,
A
that's
bunch of people hear about it, and then they can all talk to all of their friends that were in the community, right? And say, "Hey, did you see that giveaway?" It's starting to get active again in there too, by the way, because then we can start figuring out who on like the team or the OGs, the people that care about your community.
Oh yeah.
Will take roles for like a few weeks, maybe a few months, where they just gotta commit to posting in one of the channels. You know?
Yeah. I that's another thing that's kind of a part of the Lazarus project, as I'm calling it. Is I need to clean up the staff because we got you know we got some inactive staff, some people that it's kind of hard cleaning, going through that because being around for a couple of years, you have the people like, they were right there in the beginning. I can't get rid of them.
So good for so long.
I can help you with that. There's a process for it.
But what is your process you guys use?
Get them to do an onboarding for the staff. Like, have you had them sign anything to agree for anything?
No, it's pretty informal.
Give it a layer of formality, and that'll be your filter.
That's a good idea.
There you go. Free advice.
Adding it to the list.
Yeah. Just like a Google Doc or a Google form. Make a Google form and have them sign it to be part of the staff. And then anyone who's not interested anymore won't do it. Anyone who does, that's their little foot in the door.
Yep. The other thing that I'm going to also have to do is make two-factor authentication mandatory.
Oh yeah.
I got some pushback. Now it's 1,000 members. Now we can go on server discovery.
Right when they just taken down the stages. Could have been some really cool stage. Did you do any stages?
No. We kind of missed that. No. Server discovery is in the server zone search.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah. I got you. I just did that for another server. That's.
Did it give many good results or?
We just got it like 2 days ago with two-factor auth, so I haven't seen like a huge boost in membership or anything. Pretty standard growth at the moment. Maybe I'll have to check the stats at the end of the week and see if it like gave us a bump. But it's definitely another place for people to find you. You can now search for that server and find it. So same thing goes with Janky DIY. Like get it done. Yep. I want it to be the number one DIY server I send people to. Like I don't have a DIY server right now, and I have a crypto, a marketing. I have a lot of other servers. You should be the DIY guy, and you should. Like you want to be our pillar content for the DIY. Just share stuff in there every week.
We were when we were hopping, it was hands down the best DIY server, and that's not me saying it. That's like a lot of people joining it who have been through all the servers, because for whatever reason, DIY servers lend themselves to lots of drama, and a lot of them tend to devolve into just giant IT support servers, which are no fun, or there's just a bunch of really inexperienced people that have no idea how to do basic things and just want people to handhold them. And so Yeah, we're not like that. We have a bunch of like subject matter experts who know their stuff and are working on some cutting edge tech, and it's just it's really cool.
Yeah, it sounds like it, especially from the podcast. Sounds like you got some really cool members in there.
Oh yeah.
Who was your co-host?
Co-host Glavin.
Glavin.
Yes. He that guy is a maniac. He has his house is 100% off grid.
Oh shoot! Really?
Yes.
Oh, I want to do that.
100%. He has just a farm of solar panels, a field of solar panels. And he has so much excess power that he was actually running a mining rig. For Bitcoin.
How is he connected to the? He's got to be connected to the grid if he's got internet.
Well, okay, he's gridded on his internet and his utilities, but not power. I should have clarified that.
Gotcha.
So yeah, his power is completely
his
own. And he runs a business. That's the other cool thing. He runs a business with solar panels.
What does he do? Install them?
Yeah, he installs them. He helps people design their system.
Nice. Nice.
No, he knows. I've never met someone who knows so much about solar panels, or batteries, or like any of that stuff. Like he's insane, and he's done some crazy things all throughout his life. Like like those Clash of Clans type of games. He essentially created a bank for that. So he had all these spreadsheets of who owned what, and they just deposited all in that one place, all their resources in that one, in his own little building thing. And all he invested in was just defenses, right? So he had like the best defenses ever. No one could ever get through it, and he just stored everybody's resources for like a cut of it. he has so many great stories.
That's genius. Oh man,
that's really great. Got to pull him in here.
Yeah, dude, get him in. Get him to talk at one of these masterminds. And if you have anyone you want to share features, or you're looking for features for your podcast, I'm happy to collab like that too. I've got a guy who just does podcast marketing pretty much exclusively.
Oh, nice.
Juicy J, John Jufrey. Yeah, he's pretty awesome. Yeah. Cool. I don't know. Does Jeremiah, do you go by Juice now? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can't call him Juicy John anymore. Gotta just call him the Jufrey. He runs Logos Productions, but does like podcast productions. So I mean, he also is a great source of leads for podcasts if you're looking for good interviews and stuff like that.
That's great. Yeah, the one I'm running right now. I stopped Janky DIY. So half the reason I did Janky DIY was because I kind of wanted a job, and so I used it as a honeypot to get to get.
Did it work?
It worked. I got a job.
Hey, there you go. Nice.
I'm quitting that job in a couple weeks. But, no, it was a good experience. I learned a lot. Like being. I know what you guys' situation is, but I've kind of done my own thing for most of my life, right? Like I've worked for other people here and there, but they've mainly been like manual labor jobs, and so it was really nice to like work in more of like a structured business environment and kind of understand how that world works.
Yeah, no, I feel you there. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Oh wow, okay, all right. Respect.
Yeah.
I'm really glad to see that worked out well for you, the podcasting and everything.
Yeah.
I started one before as part of a job that I got, and I was doing it for someone else. I was like doing the podcasting for them, and it didn't really work out too well. So I did learn a lot, and I did, I think we did like 15, maybe 20 episodes. Not all of them got out there. Not all of them got out there though. I left the job, and now when I'm doing it, it's so personal. It's so like these are the people I really care about. I want to get their story out there. I want people to know about how awesome they are. So they're really passionate and they're really in depth, and I think just chock full of content because I'm always asking them questions about stuff that's applied to me. It's called A Quest Called Tribe, but it's only on Twitch right now. The YouTube didn't save them. They live streamed them, didn't save them. Oh, it's on Facebook as well. So Facebook on Triba Business Community, but Twitch is Facebook. What's Facebook? Facebook's it's like having your friends in your pocket. That's what somebody described it as the other day. They were like, Facebook is your friends in your pocket.
No, that's Discord.
I mean, yeah, that's why I keep telling people Discord's Facebook 2.0. It's better, more authentic, more personal, and more versatile. Like,
Yeah.
who needs to scroll through one feed? I feel like
Of what
that's so
someone else.
lazy in terms of going to the pipe and
Yeah.
getting the information and the entertainment you want. Facebook's so lazy. You open it up, like, you don't know what you're gonna see. You might see something that disturbs you. You might see something that frustrates you. Yeah, you get that sometimes on Discord, but it's like, if I want to see stuff on marketing or sales, I'm gonna go look at those
It's your
channels.
choice.
Or, yeah, if I want to go see some DIY stuff, I'm gonna go over to Janky DIY. Like, it's just that simple.
Yeah. Say, what are your guys' businesses? I don't think we've dug into that.
Yeah, well, we can get into that if you want. I do White Rabbit, which is like community development. So I offer services to founders and businesses to help engage with their audience and um, drive the community factor, so they're getting back from what they're investing. So that give them tools like websites and Discords and podcasting platforms, live events, stuff like that, that they can do to really curate and grow a brand loyal following.
That's I had that's funny you bring that up. I had that exact idea like 6 months ago. I was actually working through like Discord community management, like, how can I make?
How did we not
like,
meet?
I don't know.
That was me 6 months ago. That's why I started White Rabbit.
Oh, that is so funny. Yeah, because I had the same exact idea, except you actually went with it, which is way more than me. But
hey,
yeah,
it's
I
working.
Penciled through it. I tried like, okay, how can I, turn this into a business model? And I didn't get too far, but no, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, so we do a lot more than just Discords. We do like Google My Business. I got certified in that, and like I started growing the Google My Business side of it, and I work with some like doctors' offices to do it. Like they're not on Discord, but they still have community, and they're still growing their community. They still got to engage with it, and it applies across the board. So with the help of like Juicy John and some of the other guys, I developed the seed method, which is a 4-step process to planting and curating and growing your audience. And it involves developing your setting, if it's the S, enlisting the right people, then empowering them with the right tools and directing that traffic and engagement back to your business. And it works. It's really effective.
Yeah, that was my missing piece, right? I was just focusing on Discord, and I think, yeah, the missing piece is the whole picture, right? Of solving the pain point of repeat customers.
They need a Discord,
right?
And you gotta keep that same why to other solutions as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, we should join forces, Jay. There's so much potential in this market for collaboration, and there's lots of need for what you have in mind and what I've been trying to do, and I could use the help for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, sure, I'm willing to. I have I think I'm kind of in this interesting situation, with quitting a job and still don't have a business up and running. So yeah, I'm definitely open to collaboration.
Yeah, check out wr.community. That's my website.
WR.
No, no O. It's just WR, like White Rabbit.
WR.community. I didn't know there was a .community subdomain.
Yeah, I didn't really either until I went to get whiterabbit.com and it was taken some dude's blog. It's just literally just some dude's blog, and like all the comments on the blog are, "Hey, are you selling this domain?" I thought it was hilarious. He's just like, "No, I am not."
Oh, there's this. Not to hijack the conversation yet again, which is kind of like my thing. It seems like.
I'll stop you if it gets bad, Jay.
Okay, all right.
You're fine. You're fine.
No, so I was doing this deep dive on this one crypto project where, all right, it is decentralized, distributed blockchain domains. So what that means is, you can get root zone domains. So you could like say buy the equivalent of .com or .community. You could own that root level domain. It's incredible. But of course, to access it, you have to have a special DNS. You have to point your DNS to like the proper server, so it could actually fetch that page.
Mm-hmm.
And it probably won't go 100% mainstream unless the the governments and the powers that be decide to really crack down on websites and taking websites offline, then it would be a viable alternative. But it's a really cool project. Anyways,
Nice
no,
sidetrack. Nice side note.
yeah, it's a cool project. I own, as a result, super mature. I decided to buy the dot farts spelled with a Z and dot janknet.
Wait, so is it DOT Janknet, or is there something before it?
No. It's just dot janknet, like period janknet. So I could put whatever after it. I could have whatever site. I could lease it out. You could have your own site dot janknet.
Whiterabbit.janknet.
Yes.
Dot farts.
Dot farts with a Z if you want to be really professional.
I think I might do that. How much can I lease out whiterabbit.farts for?
Oh goodness. Well, of course, the thing is that you can only if you have the certain DNS server. So it's not, for now. It's still in its infancy, but
yeah.
I really hope this takes off because I mean, imagine
if it does, you'll have dot farts. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I might also have dot memes spelled with a Z. I don't know. I need to. Gosh, I need to sign. It's been a while since I touched that project. I should really look back into getting something going.
The reason that I actually picked White Rabbit was kind of obscure. I was trying to figure out what to call this business that basically was just about guiding businesses towards community, guiding businesses to these tools and these avenues for engagement. And I was running around my neighborhood, and we had just moved here about 6-7 months ago, and there's a whole bunch of rabbits that just roam around this neighborhood in this little area, like a bunch of white rabbits. There's a black rabbit. There's a whole bunch of different colored ones, and we at the same time watched Alice in Wonderland. My wife and I were watching it. And we were like, "This is such an incredible journey to." She goes down the rabbit hole. She follows the white rabbit. It's kind of her guide to exploring reality through this alternate perspective and making sense of all the chaos. And I was thinking that's what I want to do. I want to help business owners confront the chaos of marketing and reaching their audience and all the social media noise that they're confronted with. It's intimidating. It's like, where do you even start? So that's what we're trying to do, is help them find a place to start and guide them through that process.
That's awesome. I love that story.
Thanks, man. I do
what
too.
What about you? No, yeah.
I like sharing it.
Naming is really hard. Like, finding a name for something.
For sure.
I know you shouldn't put too much stock in it. I know it doesn't really matter too much in the scheme of things, but at the same time.
But it does. Like, it does. Obviously, you don't want to overthink it. That's the hardest part as a business owner, is you just get stuck in this process of, am I right? Am I wrong? Second guessing yourself. Then at some point I was just like, you know what? We're going for it. It's White Rabbit. File the LLC. Let's start making some money. Let's start doing this.
Let's go legit.
Yep. And it did.
What about you,
Jeremiah?
Jeremiah, what's your biz?
Go.
It is called Glance Perception Management. Why is it called Glance Perception Management?
That's a good question.
There are two things that are important when somebody takes a glance at your business. The first is, how big is your business? It does matter. People care about the size.
Size matters.
The most important thing is the narrative that is currently being said about your business. If you allow others to control the narrative, you are only getting yourself into a position where you're going to lose at some point. So basically, it's a mixture of growth hacking and PR after that whole long speech, but pretty cool.
Okay. All right. So you guys are both like similar niches of like managing outward perceptions of a company. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's overlap. There's overlap for sure. I mean, we're working together, so there's a lot of overlap. But
yeah, no, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind me asking, right? Where are you guys at in like the whole business process? Are you guys churning a profit? You still burning through runway? Like, what's your
Profitable, man. We've been profitable for several months. It took us like 2 or 3 months to get profitable, but now it's going well, and we're just focusing on different marketing campaigns. And I have some time for This is true. Yeah, yeah. I
Doing better
think
than 90% of Silicon Valley startups.
I
So.
don't know why. Like that's what I'm trying to decide. Like it needs to
I've been
be
at a break even for 2 months, but starting, I guess, in next month is going to be a very it's going to finally be worth those break even months.
Oh, that's
yeah,
great.
If that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. No, I totally get that. I think it would be a totally different story for White Rabbit if it wasn't for Jeremiah and everybody else in the Tribe of Discord. And that's I think White Rabbit is a testimony to community, this community in
Yep.
particular, and how helpful, how generous and kind they are, and how supportive. Because a lot of the work that's done, a lot of the website design, a lot of the copy and the back end came from people in this community giving their time. And I mean, I paid some of them for different services, and a lot of them continue to work on my team. But it's been a kind of community developed a business.
That is so cool.
Just so many knowledgeable people who have gone through. They've tried stuff, it's failed. They've tried stuff again, it's failed, and then they're like, "Oh wait, Sam, here's some advice before you go down this road. Try this,
This
do
rabbit
this.
hole.
Yeah, before you go down that rabbit hole." And I also just watched all the different businesses in here and other discords that I saw businesses come through, and just kind of picked the best things and applied them to what I was doing. Stayed
That's
focused
awesome.
and kept running things by people. Like, hey, does this make sense? Like, am I going down the right road? Should I be continuing this campaign? Like, uh, and the feedback I've gotten from people. Obviously, there comes a point where you just have to make the decision. You don't want to be
Oh
overly
yeah.
reliant on other people.
Oh my
Um,
God.
you have to have that self drive, that initiative yourself. But other than that, like having a group of people who are in business to just bounce ideas off of, so monumentally invaluable.
Yep. Yep. No, that's yeah. No. That, I mean, isn't that the story, the entrepreneur's story of, you know, failure, you know.
Right,
You fail so many times you run out of areas you could
right,
possibly fail.
yeah, yeah. And then
But
that's the community you have. You don't have to fail all those times if you can get someone to say, oh,
Yeah.
that's not going to be good.
That's a
Don't go
bad
down that
idea.
path. Yeah.
So have you gotten any other businesses that have like, you know, tried any other ideas out over the years, or is this just like your first success
um
or first
so I've been doing entrepreneurial ventures basically since I was 13. I can't admit to most of the ones from 13 to 16 because they weren't very legal. Um, we'll kind of leave
respect
those out
hustle?
of it. One of the ones that I will bring up from 13 to 16 because it wasn't illegal, but rather a violation of a terms of service was on RuneScape. I was running about 200 accounts on automation, just going after resources and then selling the resources on a website. And it was
Nice.
ridiculously profitable for somebody of that age group because I don't know what I was supposed to do with $200 a day, and I mostly wasted those $200 a day immediately after I got them on stupid things on Amazon. But lessons you can learn from your young
Right.
age. Um, After 16, it became a lot of e-commerce projects. About 17, I actually got sucked into multi-level marketing. I
Oof.
believe it was Vema, or I still don't know how to say it, even though I was a rep and everybody and everywhere was a rep for that company selling energy drinks for a while. But good times. That was very fun, and there was some good lessons you can learn. Like there
Yep.
were a few things in the mindset courses that like they're dumb obvious, but like you forget them, and
Oh
like
yeah.
it's good to tell yourself these things because guess what? No one else is gonna go tell you to think positive for today. No one
Hmm.
else is gonna go tell you that you have to put the work in. No one else is gonna tell you that you are responsible for all your results.
Yep.
You know, no one else will tell you those things. So you got to be the one to say. So, like, there
Hmm.
are a few lessons I still took from that, and I was actually profitable during that duration of time,
Wow.
which is supposedly insane every time I talk to people. Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't
No,
like
that's a
massively, but it was
very
like a
rare.
couple $100 a month. Um, but you think about it and you kind of feel bad when you
Yeah.
realize why you were making money. But that kind of came down, and then I went back to more like drop shipping businesses because
Okay.
drop shipping during I don't know if you know, like 16, it was still highly profitable.
Yes. Yes, I went to a
Um,
talk about with a guy that was yeah, was telling me all about. I was like, "Whoa, this is so cool." But then
yeah,
didn't what is the key thing that changed that uh anybody in the world could become a seller, or at least of the countries opened up that who could be sellers other than just
basically it just became it was copycat campaigns that made me my money, okay? Meaning I
mm,
was looking at what made other people money based on the most listings on AliExpress because if AliExpress is having 10 million of those imported to America. That means that there's at least 5 million Americans hopefully buying those. Otherwise, that's a lot of wasted stuff, right? So
right.
with that type of like logic, I was just looking. I would find that I would, reverse Google search the videos that were usually on the AliExpress listing to find out what websites had the product, and then look to see if any
Oh,
of them had marketing campaigns. I would kind of emulate their marketing campaign, change a few things, make a website similar, add that product, some other products in case they wanted to buy more than one thing from me because, why wouldn't you want to? Like, I'm a nice guy. So that was okay for a while until it just kind of stopped working. But it was funny because, like, my last win in it was literally just a website with about 5,000 piggy banks listed, and it was called Piggy Bank Mart.
that is
And you
ironic.
could just, yeah, you could just go look at all the different piggy banks,
That is
and
ironic.
they were all drop shipped, and people were. I think it was yeah, it was 18 Christmas of 2018. I don't know why every single kid asked their parents. Yeah, I think it was 18. But every kid must have asked their parents for one of those Christmases for piggy banks
That's funny.
because it was ridiculous for a little bit. Um, then in college, we tried to launch a company, which is what this fucker and this goddamn third place trophy come from.
Wait.
Called,
Tell me more about this business.
no, it's called the Panda Palo. Okay, and
Okay.
it's a very large panda looking thing, as you can see, right? And it was going to
Okay.
come with a book, a very educational book
I
on
love
the
this one.
importance of what we gotta do to get these animals no longer endangered. Because at the time, pandas were still very endangered. I know it's kind of since changed, which is awesome. And it was starting to change then. So the panda was going to be the beacon of hope of our brand, and we were going to start off with this. Okay. So
Okay.
for the first 6 months, we were going to import these and sell them, and they will all come with a book that we had wrote. We still have, like, if Kay Lowell sadly wasn't able to copy it. I guess his girlfriend must have shut up, or else he would have. He was actually a co-founder on this, so it would have been
Oh,
funny for
really?
his
Oh yeah.
too. He wrote a long book. He still has the whole thing too, like a very long book that went along with this. It was like this panda's journey from like China going to America and how all the importance he learned about saving the environment. And it was going to be great. And then it came to the point where we had to import them, right? And I just could not get anybody in the group to get money, and there was no way we were going to do a third crowdfunding campaign because we had done
Oh
two
boy.
crowdfunding campaigns. It was not for lots because you usually think
Right.
crowdfunding campaign and think like 100,000, but nothing like that, like thousands. And then we tried to shoot for 10,000 and it fell short at 8, so we didn't get any of the money.
That's funny.
Um, fun stuff, fun stuff. And I think I went through. I stopped for a little bit. Um, then
Yeah,
I
you
got into social media marketing as a freelancer, just doing just about everything. I kind of started an agency-esque thing called Northcut Creations, which just whatever you ask me to do about with the internet, like I'll figure it out
He
type of thing.
created it.
well, that's the beauty of the internet, right? You can become a subject matter expert in the matter of a couple hours. Just
Yes.
a few Google searches away.
Especially with a marketing can or a marketing budget.
Takes me back to the
Yeah.
days of learning Python and machine learning and then getting a job making AI.
You did that?
Yeah.
Nice. Like, I seriously looked into machine. I feel like I've looked into everything.
I did that, Jay. I was like, all right, I can make money off this. Sat down, like spent the summer learning machine learning, studying all that. I had gotten out of chemical engineering from NC State, and didn't know anything about programming really. I was like, I'm not a programmer. And then I quickly realized I was actually a programmer. I had been doing HTML and VBA and stuff, and before that, and command line, but nothing major. And I was like, all right, let me just learn the most popular machine learning language, Python. Then put it out there on Craigslist of all places. Was like, hey, I know how to do machine learning in Python. Very little experience, 1 year. And this guy, business down in North Carolina, Raleigh, he like hit me up. I was like, all right, cut you a check right now to start putting together, compiling this algorithm that's already open source. He cut me a check right there. Yeah, he brought me into his office downtown and was like, I want you to do this. He gave me a ton of Raspberry Pis and was just like, all right, start working on this. So I started putting together this machine learning algorithm that took the lip reading video input and converted it into text and then output it as speech for people who have like their vocal cords cut and they can't talk, but they can still form words with their lips, so they could actually like
That is really cool.
communicate with people and not
it.
have to use sign language. Yeah, it was really awesome. That was my freelancing business, the beginning of it.
I remember when I wanted a Raspberry Pi, man.
Yeah.
So what I did is I went online and I found out that everybody was buying streaming boxes. So I was like, people would buy streaming boxes from me if I just launched a couple. If I just kept tweeting about it for a couple months, I would eventually sell a couple streaming boxes. And they were paying like $200 for them at this point. This was before everyone found out how cheap these things were. And when I got the first 2 orders, I went and bought 3 Raspberry Pis as well as cases, and I installed Kodi on the SD cards. I sold those 3. Those 3 gave me enough profit to go buy myself 2. I was very happy. That was immediately deleted afterwards.
I love that. All right, so this takes me down memory lane. This was like my first tried venture, that unsuccessful venture.
Okay.
For obvious reasons. That is a Pi phone. So it is a mobile Raspberry Pi device. This was back with the Pi 2. Touchscreen? No, it's not an antenna. That is a power supply. So I got one of those portable phone charger things. Duct taped that to the side. I then glued that. I got a 3D printed case, and then I glued that on top of a slide-out keyboard. Try to make Linux phones the rage. That never happened for very obvious reasons.
That's so cool though.
It was the perfect conversation piece. I have started so many conversations by like pulling that out. And,
let me put my number. You put your number in my phone. Whips out janky Linux phone.
That is where the term "janky with the Y" was turned.
That's awesome. Great story.
You are so DIY. You made your own phone.
And that was my first phone. I didn't have a phone before that, so that was literally my first phone I built myself.
That's great. How old were you when you made that?
I think I was like 17, 18.
Okay,
that's great.
I even had someone interested in like building one for him, but I realized that like there's a lot I'm willing to put up with as a DIYer. As someone who builds stuff myself, I'll put up with all sorts of bugs. Like for example, every time, like there's no sleep mode, so you have to shut it off every single time you put it in your pocket because the power cord doesn't fit in your pocket, right? And so you had to shut down every time, or it would drain the battery really quickly because it's you know it's a high intense power thing. And so like there's just so many inconvenient factors. Like you had to do everything with the keyboard because the
DIY makes you realize how much goes into product development.
Right, that was a great learning experience, right? It's not just is this functional? It's like does this have a good user experience?
Can I look at it and does it turn on? Like that's the thing I like about my phone. I look at it, it turns on. I don't know why, but that one feature made my phone so much different. Like I don't have to touch it. I can interact with it by just like waving at it, and I can see the time. Like that feature is why I pay whatever $800 for the Pixel 3.
Yeah.
This is Big Lou.
but I still love what you're doing, like what you did with that phone.
Oh yeah. No, it
You're
was.
making your own solutions.
Yeah. No, it's very private, very secure, all on
Yeah.
Linux. You know.
Yeah.
Nobody's having my data.
No one's
But,
getting a virus on there.
yeah, it was honestly just so funny because if I was bored or someplace, I just pull it open and pull it. Oh, that was the other funny thing about this. All right, so whenever I use it, I get 3 comments in this order. 1, it'd be hilarious if there was a countdown timer. 2, never bring that into an airport. I have but like, those 2 things, it was like every single person would say those exact same things to me. It'd be like, oh,
your screensaver should be a
yeah.
and then get a clear carrying case for the back of your backpack. And then leave your bag unattended at the airport and see what happens.
I heard all the combinations. All the combinations.
That's great.
I want to do that. I would really want to visit like the DIY portable electronics space. Just for the pure joy of it one of these days.
Man. It'd be rough to live over in Afghanistan or something and be part of that community. Like,
kind of looks like a RC car remote.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. But yeah, I tried different versions and tried to make it a little more usable, but it just wasn't gonna stick. So yeah, I had to.
What's the transition from that to ArcSat?
Oh yeah, well, gosh, it's been
Make the leap.
Long journey. Yeah, so
it can take a few
that's
minutes. Don't rush it.
Then I got into from there I went into actually machine learning. Funny enough,
Nice.
I wanted
Respect.
to get my own personal assistant, like and there was Mycroft AI, and that's why I wanted to use. Oh, that's where this. Here, let me show my video here.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Say hi to Twitch. Say hi.
Hi, Twitch. That's where this lovely head came in. Because I was going to stick the Raspberry Pi in here, and then I was going to have, voice to text. I could talk to it, and like the eyes would light up, and it would be like a real robot head. The problem is that I wanted it mobile, which would be even better conversation piece, right?
Yeah.
You could literally be talking to the skull.
That would be cool.
But
what were you gonna call it?
I had a couple names lined up, but unfortunately with that, unfortunately the speech to text module was so big that they had like their own server that they had to call to it. So unless I wanted to have a SIM card, essentially USB SIM card slot, then it would have to always be connected to the internet via Ethernet, which was just not gonna work. So
not exactly mobile. Not exactly.
That was another big project. I also tried doing a DIY drone, building my own drone. That didn't work out too well either.
A lot of disasters in that one.
I didn't even get one off the ground. So.
Oh no! Oh no!
Well, I did it all. See, my issue.
All the problems could really start, though, is once you get one off the ground. That's when a lot of things would go wrong.
Yeah, so the fact I never got it to that point tells you a lot. See, that's my issue. Is that, like, if I went to like a kit or something, I could have had a drone flying. I could test it out, but I'm just too much of a DIYer. I just got to do it all myself, And yeah, that didn't work. Then I had web design. So that was a big thing. I really tried to get into web design. I tried to do that from like a marketing perspective, a landing page perspective. But again, being a hardcore DIYer, I literally built the pages from raw HTML and CSS.
Man,
like the entire thing.
Jay, I'm like you 5 years down the road, man. Good news is it gets better. But you have to learn how to work with other people. You have to learn to give people part of it.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Let someone else do some of the stuff.
That's been my experience. I started that way, and now all I use is Wix. It's like I don't need. It's not worth my time. If there's a way I could do it cheaper, faster, even if I don't have total control of it, that's good. But anyways, yeah. So I did a bit of SEO, a bit of marketing. I went into I tried figuring out like all the different aspects of web design, right? So I written really hardcore into like a marketing aspect, try to do it from there. Try to do it from more of like a search engine optimization, all the way to like design and like I just consumed a lot
Right.
of content on that area.
Yeah.
But never got anything off the ground either. And so that didn't work out too well. And then that was I also had like janky DIY stuff, and I always try to like figure out how some way to like monetize it or turn that into a business, or I
Yeah.
don't know. Like there was a lot of potential, but I could never really figure out how to, you know, use it. I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
We're gonna revisit that.
and yes, which I was like, yes, this is.
There's a lot of potential with Discord, and you have a good foundation there. So.
Yep. Yeah. No, I absolutely agree.
I've been down all those avenues too. I feel like I've various aspects of those. I've made money in different parts, and
yeah, you see that I can't for whatever reason money just doesn't like me. You know those fake gurus, how they always tell you about affinity for money, like, oh, you gotta be I'm like must be repulsive to money. Money sees me and is like, no, I've had enough, I'm getting out of here.
A lot of it's marketing, and
Yeah.
they say if you're not a marketing business, first and foremost, you're not a business.
Yep,
So
no,
I've really focused in on taking that to heart and focused on the marketing side of things. So I do a lot, but I market. And when you learn how to do that really effectively, you have a whole base of people in there already waiting to be marketed to. So you just need to find out how to market to them.
That's what I'm actually doing with my current business.
Okay, I'm sorry, I interrupted. Continue.
No, it's good.
This is a great show and tell. This is freaking awesome.
the next evolution in that step was, gosh, what was it? All right, so what is it? So you guys, how familiar are you guys with like renting and real estate? I'm sure you guys are pretty familiar with
I have buddies in the
right?
sphere, yeah. I've
yeah.
Pretty familiar.
I grew up with my my parents were property managers. They own my grandparents own property that they managed, and my parents own property, and they manage other people's property. So I kind of like got a bunch of information through osmosis. And one of the things that's a common problem, especially where I'm at, the Pacific Northwest, is that there are very, very heavy regulations for who you can accept and who you can't accept. And it's like some of that, okay, I don't like government regulation, so I don't like any of it, but I can see an argument for some of it, right?
Right. Right.
But it's just way too much, right? Like for like pet rent, you can only charge like so much. You can only have such a high amount of security deposit. You can only reject the people for like these reasons. It's tyrannical, and it's destroying the housing market. Because who wants to rent, right? So no one wants to rent, so people are stopping renting their houses, and then you have this housing shortage because go figure. Anyways, don't get me worked up about that whole system. So I came up with this idea of a pre-screening rental application. So what it would do is that it would be like a matching algorithm, but you'd only be matched with the people you would already qualify with, so that the people renting the house couldn't, like, the only options would be good options that they could reject, right? So, like, say you did want someone who had a pet, right? You wouldn't get any applications that weren't for that had pets. And I came up with like a whole incentive structure for both different for both renters and the
interesting.
But yeah, I thought it was a really good idea, because I had all this experience. I even went through Y Combinator's free course. Applied to Y Combinator, of course, didn't get in. Started working in MVP, and then then I kind of sat back and I thought about from a big perspective, right? I'm like, hold on here. So let's say this idea actually does work out, right? Big if, giant if. I'll just be another large centralized tech monopoly on where people live. Like, I don't want that. That's horrible. That's horrifying, right? I mean, sure, it helped people in the short term, but like, yikes.
Well, okay. There's ways to avoid becoming that.
There are, right? But at the same time, there's also some critical flaws as far as the business model for making money. Raising capital. Also, I wasn't quite clear on the legal side of things. And like small, like on the from the big picture, great idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in this like the smaller details, there are some areas that kind of broke down. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
still think it's a core has a good idea, and I would like to revisit it. The other thing too is that it's like creating an application like a Silicon Valley application. That's like last decade, right? I don't want to do what's
Mm-hmm.
happening last decade. I want to do what's going to be, the 2020s, right? And that's where
Right.
then I got heavily into crypto and blockchain, and I've just it's like you're married, right, Sam?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you'd get this. It's like when you meet a girl that's just so great that you're like, how could I be with anybody else, right? Like,
Yes.
and that was my experience with blockchain. It's like, this is so beautiful, so amazing. Why would I want to work in any other tech sector? Like, this is incredible.
Right, but love
and
is beyond that, and it's a choice. So you have to make the decision. Are
right.
you committed to this sector? Is this the only sector you're going to be committed to? You know, if you're going to bring it into that perspective, then
just that one aspect of kind of my feelings
Yeah.
towards it, right? But no. Anyways, it's so that's where I kind of got into
Yeah.
Bitcoin and blockchain, and kind of just learning through things. Still working as a project manager then, and then I decided one of the things I would like to do provide research, because an issue with a lot of stuff in a lot of crypto projects is that there's a lot of information. It's very deep and it's very hidden behind either technical jargon, or just hard to find, like buried white papers, and so what my key strategy to solve this issue was by targeting the community, right? So I'd infiltrate community. I'd start talking with the developers. I'd write this report, right, and then I'd say, hey guys, check it, see if this is okay, or factually accurate, and then the devs would be like, hey, that's great, or that's completely wrong, and then plus.
So you were just evaluating it and writing a report based on your perspective.
No, just what the project is, evaluating risks. I don't have like a.
But unprompted, this wasn't like somebody asking you to. You would go into these communities undercover, kind of, and do like investigative research.
The idea was to work.
Because that's genius. Because that's genius.
Maybe I'll have to revisit that one. But no,
I'm gonna send you in. I'm gonna send you in deep cover.
The idea was to work for someone else, right? Like a retail investor, someone would be like, hey, I like this project. I think it's really cool, but I don't know if it's a rug pull. I don't know if it's legit or not. And then I go in, and then I evaluate the tokenomics. I evaluate the history. I evaluate the founders. Yes, it's still online.
Dude, this is freaking awesome.
I canceled my Wix subscription, so you can only read this report for a month. But this is the kind of reporting. This is my test.
Dude, really, James just said, Jay, I didn't know you went so hard, bro. On live too. This man on fire. I agree. This man goes hard. Let's check this out. ddxexplorers.com. I'm gonna pull it up.
Yes.
Enzyme Defy Fund Management.
But anyways, it's a long article, but I kind of go through like the tokenomics. I go through the people. I go through, and this is the tip of the iceberg, right? In reality, I'd done like mountains of research, and I went through. This is how deep I went.
So
okay.
Cool though.
The company was registered in Switzerland, right? So I went to the Switzerland company page. I went through all like the public records, because it's public, right?
Yeah.
And I found the exact founders, and I made sure they matched up. I found someone who was on the founding team that isn't on the team anymore. And so I started like nosing around and trying to figure out, okay, why did this person leave? And it turns out it was all good faith, and he just moved on to another thing. But like something that no one would know about. Like they changed the protocol name, and so I went through the Wayback Machine. I figured I saw like all the different iterations of the website, everything that they left out, they added. It was awesome.
You went through time.
So much fun.
This is freaking awesome, dude. I love that you went to that depth. What did they say when they saw it?
Yeah, they were very impressed. In fact,
did they offer you a job?
A badge of honor to this day. One of the founders is Mona El Issa. All right, now. To my brain, that just sounded awfully similar to Mona Lisa. So what I did was I did a face merger of Mona Lisa and Mona El Lisa together. I did. I laughed about it for a solid 5 minutes, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna post in their Discord. I posted in the Discord. She laughs at it, and then she posted on Twitter. And now this just
What?
isn't any
Nice.
crypto nerd in their basement, mind you. Mona Lisa is on Forbes 30 under 30 list. She was an ex
Wow.
Goldman Sachs trader.
That's so
And
cool.
yeah,
Dude.
set up. She actually tried. I think she tried setting up like her own fund and like pretty. She retweeted
You
my.
should have made it an NFT and sold it to her, or given it to her for free. I don't know. That would have been cool.
Oh gosh.
It's not too
Anyways,
late, Jay. It's not too
It's not too late.
That's the thing, is we're in the moment with the NFT thing. Do it.
Oh, but the gas fees, man.
Okay, but you don't have to list them on you don't have to list them on
I could do
L1.
Solana, yeah.
Okay,
Solana
here's
is a little...
we're trying to figure out how to do this. Maybe you can be part of this because you seem to have a lot of crypto knowledge. But I want to do some NFT stuff with Triba.
Oh yes.
I'm not sure how that's going to take shape. I'm not trying to make money off of it. I'm not trying to do anything
Right.
that's rug pooly or anywhere remotely similar.
Right.
But I think it'd be really cool to get everybody's incentives aligned monetarily. And I think the core foundation of NFTs is it's a community thing, and you got to have a community. So we have the community, but I want to know like your perspective, and as this develops, as our relationship grows, Jay, like how do you see that playing in, and where could we use it as a tool?
Yeah. So NFTs, the core technology I think is absolutely revolutionary, and I think it's going to permeate every form of society. Cars are going to be NFTs, houses are going to be NFTs. I think hopefully in the future it's going to be everything. Where it is right now, I can see both sides. I'm not too deep into that world, but what I do know is that what's really popular, and you might want to look this up. I think they're called POAPs, POAP, and essentially it's this token, or NFT token, that you can give to people part of like, so when I'm part of DAOs, right, and say in Bankless I think I'm part of the research guild, right, so since I'm part of that guild and I contribute, they give me the POAP, this research guild POAP, which is just like a little badge thing that is attached to my Ethereum wallet, right? So it's a way of validating, and then other people can say, oh hey, look, you know, he was part of the Bankless research team, when you know, with
Oh,
wallet.
cool.
So it's a way of like
really
validation.
Cool. Yeah.
That's one application.
I think I've seen it similar to that. There's communities that use them as an entrance to like educational resources and tools. So if you hold an NFT, you have access. That address has access to all of the resources on that webpage, like a whole bunch of like crypto reports or stuff. And then if they're done with it, they made it through the course, or they're done with that, they can give it to someone, gift it to someone, or sell it to someone, and they have access to that. Then so it's like your entrance key. But I like the way you just said, like you explained it. That's another way to do it. I mean, do you make anything off that, or is it just validation? Like I'm curious.
I think it's just validation. I'm not sure what. I don't think it's on the. It might be in the Ethereum blockchain. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's cheap because like if it's on the Ethereum core chain, that's like I think last I checked was like $90 a transaction or something insane like that. Which really I don't like.
Yeah. I mean, thanks to Arbitrum though, it's the Arbitrum switchover brought the gas fees down tremendously.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like now it's more like
I haven't been tracking that too closely.
$9 to $5. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really reduced
Take
a lot.
Look back at it. Anyway, so research. Getting back to my long meandering story. Research. I tried doing that, right? And I was going through this business course. Really useful. I do not like fake gurus. I do not like those classes that try to sell you the world. That said, right, a friend gave me this pirated Sam Ovens course, and the stuff is actually pretty legit. And I mean that is from all my other business ventures and stuff, going through Y Combinator material, just doing a crap ton of research on my own. It all lines up, right? Like what he says, it's like, okay, this is true. It's just packaged in a way that is more useful and actionable. And so I was like, okay, cool. So I was kind of going through it, and as I was working on this like research thing, you know, making sure I got could do good research, right? And so it was like, okay, now I finally got to the part where it's like, I got to go out, I got to meet people. So it's actually this September, so a month ago, I set out. I was like, okay, I'm going to reach out I'm going to try to get 2 sales this month, right? I'm going to have to reach out to, I think, 120 people, 15 people a day or something like that. So I go and I reach out. First week, I reach out to like 30.
What are you selling?
Right? Just research services.
Oh, just research. Okay, okay.
No, actually, was that research? Or did I change my niche? I think it was research, right? So I went and I just pitched to like 30 random people, Twitter, Discord, just based on, not random people, but like people that were in the, because I targeted my services to crypto asset managers, because they, I think they had the biggest pain point, but the biggest reason to use these services, because if they're investing in a project, they really need to know their stuff, right? And so I pitched it to like 36, 37 people. Crickets. Not a single response. And I'm like, yeah, the course he says if you reach out to like over 30 people, you get nothing, you should reconsider. I'm like,
oh no. I mean, maybe you just targeted the wrong
maybe I targeted
demographic,
the wrong people, maybe
man.
I had the wrong message, but that taught me an important lesson, right? So there's 2 of the most important lessons I've ever learned being an entrepreneur, right?
Okay.
The first lesson I've learned is only solve valuable problems, all right? Because if you're solving a problem that isn't valuable to solve, then you'll be wasting your money. Like, I think a classic example is there was this Kickstarter for a Chobani spoon, where it was a spoon that was perfectly crafted to the yogurt container of a Chobani like yogurt thing, so you could scrape out every single last drop of yogurt. Who's had like, that's not a real problem anyone's experienced. No one's gonna pay money to get a little wooden spoon that they can, maximize their Chobani yogurt. But anyways,
it's called a tongue.
Yeah, you can use your tongue, or you just don't care about like the 5 calories you leave in the bowl.
Right.
But anyways, so that's the first lesson, and like this failure, I really thought about it, because it's really hard just to reach out to people like this, like complete strangers. I mean, I would sit down and I would start to like write out write out an email or write out a message or whatever. And then 5 minutes later, I'd be like playing my guitar or like doing something completely else. Like it's like completely blacked out. Like my subconscious was just trying to like do everything in its power so I don't reach out to these people. It was crazy. But anyway, so I got through all that, right? Just really hard, and like no results, right? So I really thought things through, and I was like, I think the second most important lesson I learned from that experience was don't assume what the market knows. Ask the market what it wants, and that's where I'm at right now, where I am currently talking to crypto asset managers, seeing what they want, what are their biggest pain points, and how can I create a solution to solve that. And so far, I've had some fantastic conversations. I had this one guy who, like, at the end of the call, I was like, hey, so if I have a prototype MVP, are you interested? I was like, oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, definitely. So, I mean, that's not a sale or anything, of course.
Right.
But to have a group of people when I have a solution, but I don't even have a solution yet. I have some ideas I'm playing around with, but I just need more data, more people. So if you know of any crypto asset managers, or honestly asset managers in general, I'd love to get
what
in
are you
contact
offering? What's the problem you're solving? Are you just trying to find out the problems that they have and then solve those pain points?
Exactly. Because when you do it that way, you have your first, your first customers, and you can have a much better understanding of what the real problem really is. Because you can make a guess, right? You can figure out, like, if you wanted to know what Jeremiah here wants for lunch, right?
Yeah.
You could prepare. you could prepare a sandwich for him, and then he's like, that's not my thing. Or you can maybe make a whole turkey dinner, right? And he's allergic to turkey, right? Like, you don't know, right? And so the best way to solve that is to just go up and say, hey, Jeremiah, what do you want for lunch? And then Jeremiah can think through and tell you. And if you ask 100 Jeremiahs what they want for lunch, hopefully you have a pretty good idea of what he wants for lunch. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of my process. It's kind of yeah. So that brings me up to where I'm at right now. Just trying to make connections, meet more people, get out there, start a podcast.
What's ARCSAT stand for?
Yeah, so Arc, because of the arc reactor in Iron Man. Because the arc reactor was kind of like the beginning of Iron Man's story, right?
Hmm.
Of where he was trapped in a cave and he had to create this arc reactor,
Hmm.
and
I love the
also
story.
it's a cool word. And then Sat for Satoshis, because hopefully something blockchain based, right? Um, and it's 2 syllables, really fast, and yeah,
I,
I'm just that doesn't need to be anything fancy for the application.
yeah. I just posted the clips from your first and second problem you had running your business. I thought those were good little anecdotal stories, so I clipped them on the Twitch.
Good.
Maybe they'll show up on TikTok if we get this process hammered out here. They will at some point. Thanks for sharing that story, though. I will.
Oh yeah, no, it's
I'm thinking upon all the different similarities and differences in our experience, and getting in front of people. It is a numbers game, and
yeah.
it's good that you were pursuing people like that. I don't think it's right to abandon that. I'd keep doing that. Just
Yeah.
switch the audience a little bit, and tweak the product. What you're offering. Like continue to
Well,
tweak
that's what
that.
I'm trying to do, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's what I'm trying to figure it out.
I don't think you were far off on the research thing, but then you got to
Yeah.
take that. The research is like
it's-
the first step. Your product isn't really going to involve as much research as it is going to involve solutions that the research reveals.
That's very good, right? And that's one of the things I've noticed, right, with my conversations is that so one thing that might be an issue, right, is backtracking data. All right, essentially finding correlations between different like more swings in the market and that token. So, for
Right.
example, like how much does a tweet affect the price of this currency, or how much does the S&P 500 affect this price, right? What are the largest correlative factors? And then you go through all the past data and you try to match it up and figure out what factors have the highest correlation. And the cool thing about that
This is sort of like
is,
increment versus attribution. Like when you're evaluating your marketing, what's the increment that you're gaining from that tweet, etc. Yeah.
Right, and track that with the price.
Yeah.
Because that's really complicated. That's a huge pain point, and it's hard with these new currencies to see what.
Dude,
this
is what we should offer.
Right.
Right. This is what your offering should be. Is incremental. You're doing the research, quantify the data, give incremental, the benefit of each incremental additional marketing effort you put in. We can use that with Discord and with Twitter and with Twitch.
Or
Dude,
we
could work this into the Discord offering.
Yes.
So,
oh yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm serious. Yeah, this is a good place to start.
But
that or go around and just like tear shitcoins apart and do it live, and that would be hilarious. Like, that would be hilarious. Just go deep dive, like live stream. Just be like, oh yeah, what is the data on this? Oh, this guy's just ripping people off. This guy.
Yeah. So that's something. The issue, the big elephant in the room issue that I'm coming across is that crypto asset management is in its infancy right now. It's huge because for a hedge fund, you have to spend over $5 million in seed funding just to get off the ground, and after that, you have a higher chance of failing as a hedge fund. I believe. Don't quote me on this, but you have a higher chance to fail as a hedge fund manager than you do as a business.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
It's grueling.
Wonder if Ampero
you have so much required overhead because you have to hire in-house compliance officers. You have to hire it's an absolute headache to run one of these hedge funds. But in the crypto space, the protocol that I linked that I had a report on, Enzyme, is an example of one of the solutions. You can manage assets and start up as low as like a couple $100. You're an asset manager. Congrats, you can accept other people's funding. Like that's how easy it is. So it's growing like crazy, but I'm having a very hard time finding these asset managers. It's like I have to know somebody who knows an asset manager, right? Like it's really, really hard to find these people and have these conversations. So what I'm thinking is maybe, being too early is almost as bad as being too late, right? And so I'm considering the possibility of maybe I need to expand my demographics or figure out a way to maybe change my offering a bit so I can include more people, because I think right now, even though it's growing at like 200% a year, just off the charts, it's when you have 5 people, 15 people is a 300% increase, right?
Yeah. So
But the fundamentals are solid, right? Because here's the way I see it, right? If you take the assumption that I could do pretty much anything within biological limit, right? Then the question then is, okay, what is the most valuable, painful problem I can solve? Now, one way you can delineate that is through monetary compensation, right? What is the most profitable problems to solve? Now, in the traditional, in the current world, it has the finance sector. Finance is, one of the most lucrative, areas of business. They solve the biggest pain. The problem is the highest pain point by efficiently allocating capital. All right. But that's the old world, right? That's full of regulations. It's I want to do what's going in the new world. I want to be part of the new tech wave, right? And so to do the equivalent, I want to do the equivalent in the crypto sphere, and solve the most painful problems in there. And so to grow as it grows. So the fundamentals are there. It's just exactly figuring out what what that looks like is the issue.
Yeah. Huh. I'm just
I cut you
thinking.
off.
No, I honestly don't remember what I was saying. I was just listening, and thinking I should introduce you to Tabalo, and you guys should talk and see what his pain points are and what he might need help with, because
Oh yeah,
it's basically what
please.
he does. That's one person that you could talk to right off the bat.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just interviewed him, so if you want to the lowdown on him, go watch it on Twitch. It's like the last thing that we streamed. And then I'll connect you with him as well. He usually is here at these things. I don't know what happened today, but he's probably busy.
Why don't you guys put it on Spotify?
I'm about to, yeah. No, I've been
throw out I use Anchor for my podcast, where it's really easy.
Honestly, I couldn't think of the name, so I just started recording, and now I have a quest called Triba, which I think is pretty badass.
That's good, yeah.
So that's just what it's gonna be, and I'm waiting for my designer to come up with some stuff for that, but I'm gonna put it all up on Anchor.
I want to.
What?
Yeah, Anchor is really good.
Yeah. So yeah, these will be on Anchor. It is like way after 6. Yeah, it's it's almost 6:40. On Anchor? Dude, Harry, let's talk about that.
Yeah, I do warn you.
Tomorrow now.
I tend to have the gift of hijacking conversations and making them go longer than they should.
No, it's totally fine. I love it, and I want you on more of these live streams. This is awesome. Good stories. Good stories.
This group is growing so much.
It's incredible.
Jay, we'll make sure to loop you in, since you do talk a lot, though, with next week's agenda, because we're going to start having agenda to this so that we can start making sure we tackle points and getting stuff across to everybody. We want to start looping in education and making sure people are always learning, all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll make sure you get that. I feel like it's important you have that.
Oh, yeah. No, that's good. I'm always trying to figure out what are my blind spots. What am I missing, right?
Yes.
Because I'm a pragmatist, right? And so, sure, I might know all these things. I've had entrepreneurs tell me, "Wow, man, you know more than I do." But they have a successful business, and I have $7.50 in checking right now. I mean, that's gonna. I have an invoice coming in. It'll be fixed, but just right for a week or so, I have $7.50 in my checking account. So it's it's hard for me to I know I'm missing something. I know I'm missing something big. I just don't know what that is.
So we've all been there, and I can tell you, having a family, having a kid, same things happen.
Respect.
Same things happen, and the same months. I've had months where I'm like, I don't even know, I have $7.50 in my bank account. What? How am I gonna buy diapers? And then, things work out, and they keep working hard on.
Respect for that, man. It's one thing being me, 22. Living in the parents, right? If I fail, boo-hoo, right? But if you fail, you have a house, you have a family. The consequences are way worse for you.
It was a big leap of faith. I'll tell you that. It was a massive leap of faith to even just consider starting my own business. Even though I've been an entrepreneur since the beginning, it was just having a kid and starting a business at the same time. Oof.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. If I couldn't do it without my wife. She truly is an incredible woman, and she's supported me wholeheartedly, as have my family and everybody in the Triba community and beyond that. Got a huge network of guys who have been super supportive and people reaching out to offer advice, and I just want to pass that on. I want to share that with everybody. So I'm here to answer questions, and I know people who can answer questions better than me. If I can't answer it, which there's a big chance that I can't, because I don't know everything. I don't even know that much. I will get someone in here to answer it. So, in conclusion, wrapping up masterminds, guys, tell us in chat, in the co-working chat or general, what do you want to have brought up? What solutions do you need? What are you curious about? I mean, I mentioned a few things about pitch decks. We're going to get someone here for pitch night and talk about what goes into making a really kick-ass killer pitch deck that will get you investors. Then we'll have someone come in and talk about crowdfunding. I also think that it'd be good to have somebody talk about like why you need an LLC, when you should get one, what's the difference between starting an LLC versus an S corp, and how that plays into the business. If you're there or you haven't quite gotten there, put that in chat. Like, let me know what you're interested in so that we can get these speakers in here and anything else that you have problems with. I want to know the new people coming in, people listening to this. I'll be asking people in person as well as they come in. I message out, try to reach out to everybody who comes in. Recently, it's been incredible. Thanks to everybody's work. The server's been popping off, and I haven't even messaged everybody. Harry got in here and was a moderator before I even met him. I was like, what? But that's awesome. I love it. Harry, say hi to everybody who's watching so they can hear your voice.
Yes, finally for the first time. I was gonna
A
talk.
beautiful accent.
Jay really did hijack that. I've got backache. I left for 10 minutes and I came back and I saw James's comment saying that he was out here doing whatever, and I'm like, bloody hell, 10 minutes and he's out here doing whatever. But I just sat, listened. It was really good. Some insightful stuff that you guys were talking about.
Thanks, Harry.
It was my first Triba Council, but definitely not the last. So.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that you would want to come back to something like this. That's what I want. I want to make sure you guys are getting value out of it. So next time we'll have a sort of agenda to go through, and we'll have talking points. So Jay will shoot that out in the channels and tag you. Anyways, I think that's it for today, guys. Thank you all for coming, and we'll be back on live stream on Monday for meet and greet at 1 p.m. and then Wednesday, for the weekly roundup. And that's where we discuss like problems you might be having, any contracts that have gone south or things you need emergency help with. We'll just be there to help you with that. And then Friday again for the masterminds. And on that note, we are out. Thank you so much, guys.
Let me play you guys out with Seven Nation Army here. Oops. Oh gosh. Sorry.
Down, 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 down.
There you go.
All right, okay. Hopefully, we'll get banned on Twitch for that. They're like, that's Seven Nation Army. That's not. All right.
It's misplayed, so it doesn't count.